Keeping It Real with Jacquelyn Elder.
Just Sayin. Good evening. Tonight we are going to talk about, are you magic and don't know it? Now think about that question and keep that in mind. But first we have to go through a couple of things before we actually get into that question. So first of all, I'm going to start with, what is vibration? And the law of vibration states that everything in the universe moves and vibrates. So everything is vibrating at one speed or another. Nothing rests. Everything you see around you, your friends, the walls, the floor, everything that is matter is vibrating. Whether we see it or not doesn't dictate whether it exists. I mean, hell, they didn't know that there was bacteria on the skin at one time before we had microscopes. So, if I would have come out on a radio show then and said, hell, there's bacteria on the skin, they would have hung me. Anyway, so what I want to get across to you is what vibration is what we are. Everything, color, music. And in our chat room, I'm actually going to put up links to color scales and music scales with their frequency or vibrational. What would that be considered, Gary?
Frequency.
Pattern or frequency. This is very important in the question, are you magic? Because we need to know what we're made of. And how powerful are you? What vibration are you emitting? What frequency are you emitting? A high frequency? A low frequency? Usually high frequency, those are the calm, loving people that most people are like, ew, how is that person so nice? And the low frequency people are angry and, have a little more difficulty. Even Albert Einstein said, everything in life is vibration. So have you ever thought about it in the color of the fruit that you eat, the color of the vegetables, the colors that you pick for the walls in your brand new house, the music that you listen to? These are all vibrations. These are all frequencies. And this is very important because humans also vibrate at the same frequency as Mother Earth, which is brilliant. Yet, we are in control of what, I guess we could say we vibrate at the same frequency, but our frequency is what we are in control of. And that's where the question comes in. Before we go on to explain that, I would like to read a clip from an article that I will also put a link in the chat room. As you experience it yourself, you experience that the entire material world is nothing but vibration. When we experience the ocean of infinite waves surging within, the river of inner sensations flowing within, the eternal dance of the countless vibrations within every atom of the body, we will witness our continuously changing nature. All of this is happening at an extremely subtle level. As you experience the reality of matter to be vibration, you also start experiencing the reality of the mind, consciousness, perception, sensation, and reaction. When I read that, I thought, oh my gosh, it's moving. And I just want to get people thinking about this. I think about this all the time, and I think it's very important. Another thing that really stood out in this article, it said a definition of a healer is someone who was sick and got well. And a great healer is someone who was very sick and got well quickly. Richard Gordon. So, I am going to explain what this has to do with magic after this short break. We will be right back.
We'll be right back with Jacquelyn Elder after these words from our sponsor. Stick around.
Cotter's Karaoke and Sports Bar, conveniently located at 4610 South Kings Highway. We have pool tables, keno, and the best bartenders in town, serving up ice-cold drinks 7 days a week. Come sing to us.
We're back with Jacquelyn Elder.
And we're back. Now this is where the show gets interesting. I'm done with citation. This is where we get into Jackie's crazy mind. Just saying. All right, so we were talking about the question, are you magic and don't know it? I went over vibration. I went over that everything is vibration. Now we need to talk about what vibration you are. Are you low vibration? Are you angry? Are you constantly saying things that put other people down? Are you saying bad things about yourself? Or are you high vibration? Are you happy? And do you give compliments just to give them, to make people feel happy? This is where your magic comes in. Thoughts become things. Keep that in mind. So, are you magic? Well, yes, you are. Everything you think is magic. Everything you speak is your magic wand. It's like casting a spell. So if you say, God, I'm going to get pulled over today. You just casted that. You just brought that on you. You might not get pulled over today, but you're going to. And you have to think about this. And the beginning of this is within you. You have to be okay with yourself. If you are bogged down with guilt or shame, forgive yourself. And I'm going to have shows about that. It's not as easy as just saying it. You really have to work on it. And that's the hard part. You have to ask yourself the hard questions. Am I being a good person? And am I casting spells on people? Every time someone says, oh, my child is so good, and you're like, oh, wait till they get to this age, you're cursing them. You have to realize that everything that you think is magic, and everything that comes out of your mouth is casting that magic spell. So, every time you say something good, that ripples through the universe and you affect people in good ways. Every time you say something positive about someone, you're raising their vibration because they start to feel good about themselves. But you have to understand that negative and positive are just as powerful as each other. Anger is just as powerful as positive thought. if not more powerful. So when you're behind that wheel in your car, are you screaming profanities? Are you angry about your day? Are you yelling at yourself? Are you saying, I'm stupid? Are you saying, I'm not good enough? I'm ugly? What are you doing right there? Think about what you're doing right there. You're literally asking for these things to happen in your life. So the next thing you know, 2 months down the road, some little kid walks up to you and says, wow, you're ugly. You did that. You seriously did that because you said that you were. You cast that spell. And you have to be very careful with what you say and what you think. And there's a simple solution. Each day, start to monitor your thoughts. Start to monitor what comes out of your mouth. And each time something negative comes into your head, simply say, I reject that thought, and move on. And each time you practice this, you're going to get more aware and more aware of that moment that you're in. And that's really, really, really important for your sake and for others people's sake. And this isn't a joke. This is something that I've literally watched growing up and that has affected me in so many ways. In that, say someone decides to start an argument with me, they could stop at, this is what you're doing wrong, but then they have to, twist that knife a little bit more and say something completely inappropriate. And I literally will just stop them and say, you didn't have to go that far. Like, think about what you're saying. Think about what you're doing. These things are important because you are magic and you don't know it. Each and every one of us is capable of changing, rearranging, creating our own reality. You are one entire universe right within yourself. Think about it. Look up at the sky. All those stars, all the galaxies. Think about them. Now, think about within yourself. Every organ, every piece of skin, every bit of you are cells, are atoms vibrating, just like the universe. What have you done today that has made a positive impact on this world we live in? We're bogged down by media. Everything is negative, negative, negative. We're bogged down by all these TV sitcoms where it's a false reality. And people are so captivated by these things. And they're thinking about these things. They're using their magic, wasting time on all these negative things. And what is that doing? What's that doing for the world we live in? Well, I'll tell you, it's not doing a damn thing. It's affecting us in a negative way. What can you do right now? And seriously think about this. Right now, to change who you are as a person, to start vibrating on a higher level, to start impacting this world in a better way, to start making a difference in everyone's lives. And you got to think about this too. I am not what you say I am. You are what you say I am. And that's real simple. In psychology, I believe it's called mirroring. So that person that that you run across and you're like, God, I don't like that person. Well, the reason that you don't like that person is because they remind you of some part of yourself that you don't like. Stop and think about that for a second. Have you ever met someone and you did not like them? And then all of a sudden something happened and you realized that you guys had so much in common and you became best friends. Or that song on the radio, I hate this song. And then it keeps playing, and you're like, oh my God, I really love this song. It's the same concept. So what can you do to start helping yourself? Because it has to start with you. Because in intention, there really has to be something full and loving behind that intention for that intention to be worthwhile in this universe. And that intention is your magic. So, are you magic? I think so. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with Jacquelyn Elder after these words from our sponsor. Stick around.
Our upcoming shows on Keeping It Real with Jacquelyn Elder. I'm going to talk about autonomy, how to love yourself, how to really forgive yourself, and a special segment called Jackie and Friends, when keeping it real goes horribly wrong. Stick around for our closing segment. We'll be right back with me, Jacquelyn Elder. Just saying.
We're back with Jacquelyn Elder.
All right, so change your thoughts, change the world. The link between vibration and thought. That is what we have to think about. The link between vibration and thought. Here's what I'm going to do. I taught Pilates for years, and my classes went from 4 to 30 to 50. And what I did was I gave them homework assignments. So your homework assignment is to really live in the now, to assess your thoughts. Instead of letting your thoughts run rampant, please say, I reject that thought if it's not good. Please say, I accept that thought if it is good. Like, monitor your thoughts. Each time that you have a positive thought, you're doing a positive thing. So, you know how our brains work. Sometimes, because our indoctrination and all these crazy words that I could say that could totally change everything for you. I'm not going to even go into that. I want you to think about your thoughts. If your thoughts are negative, reject them. It's just a practice. Just like when when I was teaching that Pilates class, I made sure that they lived in the now and they thought about pulling their navel to their spine. If they didn't think about it, they weren't doing anything. If they thought about it, then they were making a change. So I want you to spiritually or mentally pull your navel to your spine. Each time you have a negative thought, I want you to reject it, and I want you to pull your navel to your spine. I know it sounds strange, but you know, I am strange. So we're going to just practice on being here right now, because in the linear, and we're taught about linear from the time that we enter kindergarten. You're placed in lines. Everything is a line. So think about linear. Your past, present, and future is in the decision that you make right now. So, in conclusion, we are magic. You are magic. We're all magic. And we have to be responsible for that magic. Be responsible for your thoughts. Be responsible for your words. You owe it to the world, because we're not here just to fuck shit up. We're here to make this place a better place. If you have any comments or questions, please go to our chat box. Ask questions. I am not afraid of answering anything. I work on vibration. I work on frequency. And I guarantee, even though we aren't in front of each other, I am going to understand where you're coming from. And that is why I started Just Saying. For you. In my growth as a person, I realized helping myself was huge, but helping others, it is my passion. So I welcome you. I welcome you to our show. I welcome you to chat with me. I welcome you to challenge me. Please, challenge me. This is real stuff. This is inspiration. This is growth. And this is what we can do for each other. And that's really all that matters. So feel free. This is Jacquelyn Elder with Just Sayin. Until next time, namaste.